So the question, as I'm hearing it, is how do we maintain the proclamation of the gospel, the rich proclamation of who Jesus is, what he has done for us, how God is working out his salvation for the world, and the works of justice and the real just down-to-earth labor for freeing the prisoners, helping the starving and the orphans, and how do we hold that kind of that's preaching the gospel and the works of justice? Is that so? One of my favorite ways of addressing this is to think about, on one hand, the works, the works of the law, or the works, the dichotomy between grace and works, right? We are called to do something, and sometimes that calling to do something can become a means of our salvation. And so we have to say, no, salvation is by grace through faith, not of your works. And so we come over here on the other side and emphasize grace, and those things slowly get split apart. And so the doctrine of salvation becomes about grace through faith, not of works, lest any man should boast. But then we have over here this call of the church and the call of Christians to care for the orphans and the widows in their distress and to work. And those things become separate. And so we have different ministries go off in one direction and others go off in another direction. And sometimes they fight with each other because some say you should go on missions and you should care for the poor before you preach them the gospel. And others will go out into the mission field and say, no, you preach them the gospel. That's what they really need. The feeding thing, the works of justice are really not the issue because everybody's going to die anyway. The point is saving their souls for heaven. One of the ways I address this in my classes is the use of Dietrich Bonhoeffer. And Dietrich Bonhoeffer, in his book, Discipleship, says that the call of Jesus to follow him is a call of grace, but at the very same time and at the same breath, it's the call to follow, to do, to get up and go and do what he's commanded us to do. So the tension is resolved in the personal call of Jesus Christ to follow him. That is a call that comes to us as grace, as saving grace, as good news, because when God speaks to us and we hear, we're born anew. But in that speaking, there's a command. And so we're raised to new life to follow him. And so theologically, in the call of Jesus Christ, that tension, I think, is resolved. But there's another dimension to the question which gets to the practical dimension on the mission field or wherever in our community of how do we do works of service that are consistent with our faith, but don't reject our faith in the process or replace it. That's sometimes the great fear. Our works of service become sort of our witness, and the great theology of the church, the good news of what Christ has done for us gets lost in the midst. And in reality, that's what I'm trying to do at Killens College in teaching a class called Theology, Systematic Theology for Social Justice, is to teach those things together. And if on one hand it's rooted in the call of Jesus to follow him, it's also rooted in what I just addressed earlier, the holding together of the doctrine of creation and the doctrine of reconciliation, and not letting those two things be separate. Because what God is about doing is he's about saving the world and saving the creation, but not rejecting the creation. He's about redeeming it and renewing it. And so our lives are fully engaged here and now in this world. I'm just trying to hold all that stuff together and really rethink it out in an integrated way. And that's a longer term project that I have at Killens.